Hey guys, we are here, we are here, we are here. We're not quite put together, but we're going to try and squish in here. Oh my gosh, how are you guys? It feels like I haven't been here in forever. It's probably because I haven't. As you know, I've been busy just putting things together in a jewelry and all of that, getting ready for whatever. I just have too many canes. I didn't want to keep making more. But a couple weeks ago, I don't know, I'm sure all of you know who Meg Newberg is. So she made a video on YouTube, it's on there, just search for her name, of how she finished using cuffs to make a bracelet. So I asked her where she got them, and she told me where she got them, so I did order them. And what's cool about these is, like she said, is you use no glue. Actually, you bake the piece before you put it in. And then these are kind of like little crimpy things. So you'll stick your clay in there and then crimp them down and they won't move. I don't know if I feel safe doing that. So I ordered, she gave me the link of where she bought them from. They were on Etsy. So I bought one silver, one gold. I didn't realize until now that I got a smaller gold and a bigger silver. So she didn't show how she made the veneer, but we're going to do that today. We're going to make the veneer, and it's already flowers that I have. So it's now figuring out, do I want to make something like I normally do with this Southwestern, which would look great with the silver, but I don't really have leaves to go. I mean, I've got some brown ones. Or do I go bright, because it's summer right now, and use some of our watercolor flowers. And I've noticed the longer they've set, it seems like now that the translucent that was all white on these is now kind of pink. I don't remember me putting pink color around it. And I noticed it on the purple. I mean, the purple seeped into the translucent and turned it colors. So it's not white anymore. So let me go ahead and get some flowers together, figure out which ones we're going to use, and I'll come back and we'll put it all together. I'll be right back. Okay, so we decided to go with the brown and blue because I got a bunch of flowers all using that same blue. Not that one, not that one. So these are all pretty much the same blue, just different designs. And that's the same as that. So I have these three and these three. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some, I think, souffle. And I'm going to do a latte. I don't want a dark color underneath it. I'm going to make just a light brown. So let me grab some of that and we're ready to start. Okay, so now the fun thing is getting all the measurements done before we do anything, because this is going to be baked before we put it in. So hopefully I can get it pretty close, and that way I don't have to do any kind of sanding or cutting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a straight end. Okay. And then I think we are going to put this on a tile so we don't stretch it when we lift it up. Because this is going to be your final piece that's on this tile. I have this cut at a number 5 because I want it really thin. I don't think I'm going to need all this. I just need to get a measurement. Okay, so I have, again, let's get a longer blade here. Was a little bit more organized, but obviously I'm not as organized as I thought I was. Ooh, that's a horrible blade. Right, so I'm just going to go to about right there. Okay, and then we're going to measure this, and where it was, See, it's already going to want to move. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to get it close. But I'm definitely going to have to come in here anyways. And probably do another quick one. Okay, so as far as how much this goes, let me grab one of those material thingamajiggers and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I got my thingamajigger and I'm about 6 inches is what I need. And I just realized that I don't have to put that on there now because once I put all the flowers on top, it's going to get longer and stuff like that. So I'll do my final cut later. So again, I have this at a number 5. And I'm now trying to think, do I want big flowers or do I want little? I think big will be fine, because if I go little, I'll be here forever placing them on there. So we're just going to work this a little bit, because these have been in my little box for a long time. So while this is going to take a little bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and fill you in. I want to thank you all. First of all, we are at 7,000. So guess what that means? That means we have a giveaway. So consider this video the giveaway video. Okay, and I'm not going to have you guys do anything because it was really hard last time to count everybody. So I have a list of subscribers and I will go from the top of the bottom. I don't know how YouTube displays everybody. It might be alphabetical. It might be from when you guys signed up. So what I'm going to do is make a list of all the subscribers. I'm just going to copy and paste them into an Excel file. And when they go into an Excel file, they will have a number, obviously next to it. And then I'm going to pick a number. The person that wins this giveaway gets a free Lucy Clay extruder. There are no discs. It's the extruder itself. And you can use any of the discs. If you got one of those walnut hollow ones, those should fit. Do you have one from Michaels or Hobby Lobby? I can't remember the other names for the other ones. But they're all pretty much universal, so they should all fit. So we're going to do that. Now, if you live in the U.S., I will pay for the shipping. If you win and you are out of the country, you're going to have to cover all shipping. So if you don't want to do that, then if you're the winner, you'll just have to let me know. And we will have to pass it on to someone else. Along with that, since there are 7,000 people and only one giveaway, I'm going to do a couple more giveaways that day. And I'm going to give away 4 boxes. They're going to be, let's just say the boxes will be 4 by 3 by 2. And I'm just going to fill them up with some cutters, maybe a roller or 2. So that way we have a total of 5 winners. And again, same rules apply. If you live in the U.S., I will pay for your shipping. If you live out of the country, then you'll have to pay for shipping on that. So the shipping seems to be anywhere between $16 and $18 for Canada. Actually, no, 14 to 16, 14 to 17 or something. So we're going to do that one in Canada. And if you live in the UK, it's probably running or anywhere from $17 to $19. And Australia is just a little bit higher than that. I don't know why, but I've noticed that Australia is like $19, $20 to ship. It's more than any of the other ones that I ship. Okay, so that will be done today. And I don't know where all this, I don't know if something purple was sitting next to this and it kind of got on there. Oops, I wasn't supposed to drop that. But we won't see that. Hopefully when we lay this down. So that's my announcements. I still don't have any canes to make yet. Might start making 1 or 2 next week. I got, I don't know if I told you this in the beginning, but we've been having some printer problems. And I spent the entire weekend basically talking to the printer makers that are out of the country and at a 9-hour difference than us. So I usually call, I think Saturday I called early, and I was on the phone with them for probably 6 hours, And it's just basically texting. You can't call these people. They just have 24/7 support. And so you're basically texting back and forth. You're taking pictures. And I hate texting on my phone. If any of you have noticed, if you've written me on Etsy, my spelling is horrible. It's because I'm using my phone, and I use a lot of times, I use the auto voice. That's a big mistake. And so if I get on the computer, then I can type really well, really fast. But if I take a picture of the problem and send it to them, then I basically have to take the picture. Then I have to upload it to the computer, whether it's by Bluetooth or cable. And then I have to upload it and send it to them. So it's been a time-consuming weekend. Another machine went bad Monday. So I spent another 3 hours on the phone today with them. And after I think I got it fixed, it was like, I'm done. I'm literally done. So I've got nothing printing right now. I told myself I'm going to take a break. And I'm going to get in here and just make something to de-stress. And that is what I am doing. Okay, so let me see what I dropped here. Oh, I think these are just some invisible flowers, which will probably look really cute. Yeah, I've got one more. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's okay. It's just a flower. Although it should go for those. I can always make more, right? And let's see, what other announcement? Oh, I have a favor to ask of you. Not asking anybody to buy anything. That's not the purpose of me asking this question. But my website is up. I've got some stuff on there. And I just need people to click on the website and make it relevant. So I used to sell glass rods. Oh my gosh, my dog, of course. And if you got a lot of activity on your website, then the robots pick it up. If you don't do a lot of updating on your website very often, then it sits stagnant and they'll never find you. So basically, where do I want to put this one? I'll put this one sideways or something. So basically, I just need you to click on the website, maybe click on a couple pages, and then you're done. And I just need that from a bunch of different IP addresses. And hopefully now, it'll start picking up some activity, and it'll show up a little bit quicker on search engines than where it is now. The one thing I noticed is Etsy shows up on everything. So a part of me is thinking, okay, should I just sell it on Etsy? But the reason I'm trying to go to my own webpage, even for my cutters, is just because of the 6.5% fee from Etsy. So they've been really good to me, and I don't want to get rid of them, but the fees are they're just crazy. And so if I can start moving everybody towards my website, I think it would be a lot better for me. So again, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm just asking you to click if you wouldn't mind. All right, so we're just going to start putting these down now. And I think I'm just going to go a couple big. Oh, that can be over there or something. And then we'll probably go smaller. I may not keep you through this whole process and just start filling it without you. And that way I don't bore you all, because it can get pretty time consuming. We'll do that one up there. Okay, I'll take some of this. This one's a little smaller. Do a couple more. And if it just doesn't come out even, I'll just put the broken pieces on the edges. I should have just grabbed a pair of glasses, and that way I can see a little better. Got cold today. It's been really warm all week, and then it got really cold the past couple of days here. Okay, this is the same. So really, I only have 2 flowers. No, this one's different. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of these at the big size, and then I'm going to cut some of these down and make them smaller. And we're just going to layer them all. I didn't use latte. I used, not burnt umber. I used sienna. I'm not quite sure what the whole name is. It's just Primo, and it's, I think it's called a dark sienna. With their new packaging, I can never find where the name is. It gives me a name somewhere. I'm pretty sure. There we go. Raw sienna. So I used that and added just a little bit of white to give me just kind of like a, I don't know what you would call that. It's not a chocolate. It's kind of like an old chocolate, like what happens when you leave your chocolate out. It gets all tan colored and you know it's old, like your Hershey bars. I'll go right there. Alright, so we're just going to do a couple more, and then we're just going to shrink this up. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut, I'm going to cut right there because these are smaller right there. Actually, I'm going to take some ghostly canes here. Okay, so this is all we're going to do right now. Is we're just going to add some of these, and then we'll make some smaller flowers and put those around them as well. So it'll be an interesting look, I think. I love this. I don't remember how I made it or how I got the silver, but there is silver in this. I don't know if it's silver mica powder, but it's got such a pretty glimmer to it. So we're just putting them here and there. And I want to go thin. Put that right there. Okay, so this is my last one. Oh, I didn't make it full, but that's okay because I'm going to end up putting more of the on them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit pause. I'm going to fill up this entire thing. There won't be any brown showing when I'm done. And I will come back and show you what it looks like. Alrighty, so this is what we got so far. Okay, so we've got a bunch of translucent things on top of the flowers, and hopefully it'll all blend together once it bakes. It's really hard to tell how these look until they come out of the oven. And because these are so old, I hope they don't do any cracking. So really work them into your clay if you have old canes. And you'll know when it's all the way in. because you will not be able to see these little indentions. I know you can't see it from where you're sitting, but you'll know. You want it all to blend like it looks like one piece and like nothing was added to it. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time and a lot of elbow grease. And I probably should have played with the real flowery ones, but if I like how this turns out, then I will get online and order more of those. These were over $5, you know, so I only bought 2 just to try them. I didn't want to buy a bunch of them, and that's kind of expensive for blanks, but I couldn't find them anywhere else. And then she sent me that link, so I thought I'd give a shop a try and see how we liked it. So I know that in some of these areas you can't see the leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a leaf on top somewhere. Looks like this is the side that I cut. It's just a little bit sideways. Let's see, so I'm going to put that leaf like right over the top. Right there. And maybe one over here. Alright, so let's put that on there. Doesn't have to match or anything. So I'm going to grab a rubber stamp, and hopefully that'll help me get a nice even piece. I have you out of focus there. Alright, so those went in okay. The problem with putting it on there is I'm not going to be able to get a really good measurement. So we're just going to do the best that we can. You'll see how much we stretched this out already. Oh yeah, so we can cut off a lot of this end piece. Like if we start it right there, it'll end right here. So that's looking good. So we still have a lot of pushing down. This is not something I want to sand, because it's going to be laying inside this. So if you sand it, you might accidentally sand this part and you'll lose that shine and you'll scratch it. So you could sand it all before you put it on, which is probably what I'll end up doing, just to make sure I've got a nice clean top. I just hope it works as good as hers. So I'm just going to see how thin this is by just lifting it up here. Okay, so that's good. It lays inside it. Okay, so this is what we got. So you can see like a little bit right here. You can see how it's kind of laid on top. Well, all this over here is all nice and blended. So we just have a little bit more to go. Okay, so I'm going to hit pause and I'm going to finish getting this all nice and smooth on top. And I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like I got it. So now we're going to transfer this. And at least with this, you don't have to worry about what the back looks like, right? Now we're going to go cat a corner. And I think we wanted think I measured this to be around 6 inches. And of course, I set down my little tape measuring thing and I can't find it. Ooh. And that would look really pretty. See what I find when I do things? I just find everything. Alright, I know it was around 6 inches. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're at 7. Okay, so we're going to take off 1/2 inch. Alright. So about right there is where we want it. And then if it doesn't quite fit, then you can just sand it down and get it to fit. Okay. All right, so now what are we looking at here? We don't have a whole lot to cut off. So I want to make this even. So these are with the Teresa Salgado bracelet templates. That would probably be the easiest for me to use. Although I don't think I have one as thick as 1.5 inches. It'll be at least good to get. Well, no, you know what? I'm just going to do that and just line up my edges since I know I've got a clean cut. But I'm taking it all the way to the end here. Okay, a little more just to get that last corner right there. I don't want to go too much. So I think that's going to have to work. Okay, so we have a nice clean edge right there. And we're not going to lift this up. We're going to leave it alone. We got a little bit of brown on that side. Which I really didn't want that brown. Okay. This might be a little too small. I think I made it a little too small. May just fit in there. I want to go in here. So we're going to go right there. And it's like 2 1 1/4. And I'd rather go a little big. So I'm going to go just right there. And I'm going to make that same strip on this side. And I absolutely hate measuring. So it was about right there. Okay. do it this way. That way I know that I got an even side, right? So this is both lined up, then that should be straight down like that. And that's at about 6 inches. All right. Woohoo! Oh, I hate this part because you don't want to get it too small. So I'm just going to go past that a little bit. And it's going to be about right there. God help me that this is right. All right, so now we're going to take that off. Looks like I missed a spot right here. And I must have set something down right here, so I got this little mark. So we're going to grab our paper and just go over this a little bit. Get rid of that. Okay. So we are, yep, we're about even right there. So we're going to do just this right here. All right. We're not going to move it. We're just going to leave it alone. It's already cut. So I'm going to go throw this in the oven for an hour. So this is what we got. Okay. I don't know why, but this looks a lot wider than this one, doesn't it? It's about 1 1/4. Yeah, it's quite a bit of a difference here. But that's the size that we needed it. So we're going to leave it. We'll sand it down if we have to afterwards. So let me put it in the oven and I'll see you in a little bit. Alrighty guys, so we are back. And yeah, like I told you, I'm not really good at measuring things. So if I were to put this in here, it looks fantastic. Well, I just cut a little bit off, so it's not anymore. But there was one area that was just a little too loose. So we have this one, and it actually doesn't look bad in the gold. So this is a little over 3/4 of an inch. So I don't know how easy this is going to be, but I just want to make an even cut. I'm going to turn it over like this. Yeah, I'm just not good at cutting. I'm really not good at cutting at all. But I'm going to lay that right there and hope that it doesn't move. Okay. I'm going to get that even. And I'm just going to take an X-Acto knife. Just to get that even cut. Okay, so about right there. It should be easy, but for some reason it's not gripping or something, and I'm pressing so hard that I'm afraid that that the plastic's gonna move on me. As long as you keep it on your guides, you'll be okay. And don't cut your hands, whatever you do. I don't want to dig into the plastic. Okay. So there's a couple areas I did not get. So I know I'm out of camera, but I'm just shaving some of these pieces off. Okay. So I can still do a whole 1/4. I just wanted to see how hard that was going to be to do. And it doesn't seem like it's really hard. but I'm thinking an extremely sharp blade will make it better. So let me get a new blade, and then we're going to make this perfect. All right, guys, so we are back, and we kind of, you know me really good. So we had a little issue, and that issue was we were a little off on one, I guess just one corner or one side. Wasn't really perfect. So now I grabbed a brand new X-Acto knife, and it's not cutting it as well as I thought it would. I don't know if it'll work better if I use a ruler. Okay, so we need about right there. It's just holding the ruler down as I do this. There we go. Much easier. I was using that plastic piece and that didn't work so great. Okay. So, we're going to end up having to do the gold, and this is like a little over 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And that's enough room to get in both spots. But I have to take a little bit off of the side here. And I don't know why, but that's just a little off right here. I can see it. I'm just afraid of digging into it. If that makes sense. So we're going to try one more. And then what I can't get, I'm just going to use my little callus remover, and we're just going to sand the rest of it down. Okay, so that is that side. Now there's just that bottom, and then we'll do the other side. Boy, maybe we'll just do that other side like that. So what we need is about a little more than 1/4 inch. Okay. So we need about right there. Okay. And you know me, I'm not wearing my glasses, so and it moves, and that's the biggest issue, is it just moves on me. So I don't know if it'll be easier to sand it, or if a pair of scissors will work even better. So let me see if I have scissors. I don't even know if the scissors will go through, but let me go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. All right, so the X-Acto knife did not work so well. So instead, believe it or not, we're using a pair of scissors. And not the greatest scissors, mind you. Something I had hanging around. So we'll run it under water with some sandpaper when I'm done with this. And if we have to shorten up the edges a little bit, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so this is it. And I don't dare cut it anymore. So we just need to sand just a little bit off of the ends. I mean, we're talking a smidget here. Oh, help me. This actually is pretty easy to do. I was surprised I couldn't find my good scissors. And I really wasn't sure if the scissors would go through this. But it actually did really nice. Okay, and I think we got it. We are in that line. We are in that line. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sand this black off of here. And I'm going to get these really nice and even. And we'll be right back and we'll put it back together. Okay, so I put this in really warm water to clean it all up. And now we're just going to open up this part. So this might be a little tricky, and I think I know the tool that'll work perfect with this. And that's some needle nose pliers, because I don't want to scratch it. Hoping that'll be good enough. I might have to take a little bit off the back. I don't know, but I have a feeling that this might be a little too thick. Oh well, I don't care. If I get the sides good, I have no problem sanding a little bit off the back. Okay. So, this is perfect right here. Okay, and there might be just a little bit to take off in the middle. And this is probably not that hard. You guys got to remember, it's me. Okay, so don't think, oh my God, this is time consuming. It really isn't. It's just sometimes, yeah, I can see exactly where it gets bigger. I'm just using a callus remover. And if you want, you could take like a nice size piece of sandpaper and run it straight across. Yes, both on the ends right here where it's a little bigger. Okay, but on this, I might have to stick this in water and maybe use like a 200 grit, because I want this really thin. So if I use a 60 grit, I will get a lot more off and a lot faster. So I'm going to take this in the bathroom and do that. And basically, this is the callus remover. You buy these on Amazon, and it comes with, like, I don't know what they put on it, but I kind of get these little foam pads, and they're Velcro on top, and I just glue it on. And that way I can take whatever grit sandpaper I want, peel it off, put another one on. So these are 400 grit. So I'm going to go lower, maybe a 200, and I'm going to sand this bottom so it's, you know, there's not that much that I need to take off. So just maybe, I don't know, maybe a milligram. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, well, we are sanded. Took a little bit of time. So, if you try this, make your base around a 7 on your pasta machine. I got the hiccups now. Sorry, guys. That worked pretty well. Okay. And you're not going to need glue, because you're just going to slide that right in. That ain't going nowhere. Okay. And it just came out of the bathroom sink that I had on hot water. So I'm hoping that this will just slide in just as easy. I might have to cut it a little smaller, maybe. Maybe just a little. Alright, so just going to take a little off of that end. So I'll go a little at a time. Because I want it in there pretty far. So I just slide in one side, and it seems like the other side goes right in. So you don't need glue once you crimp these in. It's still not happy. So we're going to just take like a tad off. I mean, just a little bit. It's almost there. That's one thing great about this being so thin. It just bends in there really nice. So I'm going to take about that much off, and I'm going to kind of bevel it in like that. So I'm going to take that out. Okay, get a nice attachment in there. And take that side, attach it in there. Okay, so I might have to warm it. Let me go grab some hot water, and that'll bend it a little bit easier, I think. So let me grab some water real bit. Okay, so we are soaking in hot water. I got a bunch of glass beads that I've made. I don't know if you want to see them. I have not cleaned them yet. So, got some flowers. Those will be on my website hopefully soon. Still working on getting things up there. Okay. All right, so this one might be easier to put through. There's always that one side that does not want to feed inside that. And I don't dare to cut any more off. There we go. And then just stretch it. Okay, and that way it fits in both of the sides really well. Okay, you may have to raise the crimps up a little bit. So let's dry it off. I don't know what material this is made of. I know it's not real gold. I just hope it doesn't, you know, that it doesn't tarnish in anything. And so there you go. She got this really pretty bracelet. Not sharp at all, so I love that about these. But there you go. Isn't that really cute? So I will put a link to those bracelet cuffs on my video. And that way you can go buy some. And then I'm going to have to make another one of these. Maybe some bright flowers. Maybe even use, like, I've got this whole thing that I made of that leopard. I mean, that might actually work really good and look really cute. And with the silver, looks really adorable. You know, and you can take, this is another thing you can do. Remember when we made the cowboy boots? You could take this and maybe make a background and cut out a cowboy boot and then cut out the cowboy boot on your base and stick that cowboy boot into that hole. You know, you can make all kinds of designs. The problem for me though is cutting it so that cowboy boot is center, because by the time I finish getting everything down, with my luck, this will be over on this side. So, but there's all kinds of things you can do with this. So that was really fun. I like the way it turned out. I probably will use glue on it. I'm not crimping this down yet, but that's basically all you'll do is just take, I would use a, obviously a flat nose, but you know how you can get the real thick flat nose, not the thin ones, and just press and press and press, and you'll get a really nice, it won't fall out. How's that? But I'm still going to put glue on it. And I think on the next one, I will probably do a number 7 and see if I can get this to fit all the way inside it so that it's not up. But I do like it up. I don't have a problem with that. But I like to see it in the channel itself. But it doesn't really give you a whole lot of room in order to put a decoration on it. It's really thin. But that's our tutorial for tonight, which really isn't a tutorial. Thank you, Meg Newberg. You're the one that showed us these great bangles and what we could do with them. So we're going to give her credit for that, because I would have never had anything like this had I not seen her video. So you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.